What's up, guys? You're listening to Raw with Roadbloc at Man of War Harley. Today, I have Blane and Kobe Davis up here. Give those guys a round of applause. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. It was a nice ride up.
His was
A little cold.
A little cold
He's
riding
a man
up.
with a bike in the back.
Oh, so you rode the back.
living in luxury.
Living the life of luxury. So today, you guys come up to talk a little bit about what you guys do. So what exactly do you guys do?
Tear up junk.
Tear up junk. All right. So you guys got a couple Harleys. You do wheelies,
Yeah.
burnouts, put on some shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. How long you guys been doing that?
I guess. How far back do you want to go? Just
Well, when did you get started?
years.
What got you started? Who's older? Which one? You guys are brothers, right?
23 and 18.
23 and 18. All right. So you're a little bit older. What you're Blane, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what got you started in motorcycles? Like that first time you were like, I'm going to ride motorcycles. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. As a kid, dirt bikes was the thing. Probably 6, I think, was when, I got a 50. He was 1, presumably, at that point, right around then.
So just eyeballing you, getting to do all the
Yeah.
fun stuff.
Oh, yeah. Learn from all my mistakes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it went.
And,
That's how it's been.
It was, I don't know, 50s and snowballing into, bikes is the one thing that stuck, like of all the childhood things and such. So that evolved into big bikes, and then just, the internet, stunt riding become like more apparent to us, and
Yeah.
different YouTube inspirations and such and whatnot. And started taking wheelies seriously probably whenever I was around the 17, 18-year-old mark.
Okay.
And,
Now is that you still riding dirt bikes at this
Yeah.
point, or have you got a Harley at this time, or
this
a
is
sport
in high
bike?
school, still on the dirt bikes
Okay.
mainly. Honestly, had a couple buddies at the time that could just wheelie, but it was like all power wheelies,
Yeah,
real
just
basic
100
stuff.
mile an hour
Yeah.
wheelies flying down the
Stuff
road.
of that nature, and I was always real spooked to that. But just put the time in, and 30 minutes before I went and rode every single time on a 05 CR250, was just going out and just gas brake, just drilling the foot brake into my head. And then of course he was all around.
Meantime, little brother's standing there the whole
Yeah.
time.
He's on a
CRF-80.
CRF-80 at the time, just doing the same thing.
And how old were you? Said you were how old at this time? You're still a young teenager,
Yeah,
I was
been
middle,
like
middle
11
school.
or 12.
middle school. So you've got your little CR80 out with the big brothers hanging out, riding wheelies, ripping
Yeah.
it up and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
anytime he would, we always go back and forth with one another on who's better or whatever.
It's how
yeah.
you gotta have some kind of
It's how you
competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's how you
Anytime
progress.
we'd be together up there on the farm, just playing around on dirt bikes, it was, he'd go and do one and see how far back he could drop it.
I'd do one farther than
yeah,
that,
and
and I could add a stoppie to the end of
and
it.
then somebody end up looping out, and it's like, ah, crap.
A
Well,
lot of races, a lot of cheater lines in those races.
Yeah.
Right. So you said, sometimes you loop out. You guys ever been injured, broken any bones or anything like that?
Never broke a bone, actually.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
Yeah,
yeah, make me re-clarify.
We got plenty of road rash and
some-
stuff.
Wood to
knock on wood.
Knock
there.
on some wood.
For the most part, it's
Yeah.
been
No, I mean,
scrapes, cuts, and bruises.
I had some
but-
big ones, but somehow got out with no broke bones. But a contusion of the hip.
A contusion
That,
of the
that
hip.
was a good one. I couldn't spell contusion before that.
I think the last
We've had some big ones on dirt bikes.
yeah, that's
We've never really
the
I've
street-
I've low sided before. But,
Yeah.
Low siding sucks. I've
Yeah.
been there, done that. Come in, slide out,
Yeah.
locks up, throws you over the bike.
yeah.
Next thing you
just,
know.
just hit that one last week.
Oh, yeah.
Like a new award there or something. But
All right. So you guys grew up in London riding dirt bikes and stuff. About what point did you switch over to the street, start
Yeah.
riding, Harleys and stuff? What made you go to Harleys versus,
was-
like the sport bikes and stuff?
Yeah. Just kind of like the child, once again, the childhood heroes on dirt bikes and such, was always idolized X Games and the freestyle motocross dudes and whatnot. And in particular, to this day, I can tell anybody, Twitch or Jeremy Stenberg, I think the video on YouTube is just called Twitch - Street Legal. And the thumbnail is him on a big, it's got a big T-Sport, crazy gold, flecked out paint job, on a newer, I think it's a newer Street Bob, doing a
Yeah.
burnout. And at that point in time, I would have told you it was a CB750. I didn't know what a Harley Street Bob was.
Didn't know
but
what it was.
I just thought that was the coolest thing known to man. And
I do like a burnout, a nice rolling burnout. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's what I like.
And then, so that kind of snowballed, and met one of my now absolute best friends, Dylan.
Dylan.
and Dylan MacArthur. And
So you guys have like a crew that you ride with?
yeah, the Loose Screws.
The
is
Loose
kind of
Screws.
our crew of sorts. And
Okay.
band of heathens, as some
Band
may
of
call it. But I met him, and he'd been into Harleys. He's actually a good bit old. He's probably 10 years older than me.
Okay.
But he was like, I think I literally told him at that point in time, was like, man, I really like, these, I knew what a dyno was. I was like, oh, these dynos and like V-rods. I don't like V-rods. I don't want to put that out there. I don't like V-rods, but
Everybody he likes V-rods?
yeah. I didn't know what I was even looking at the time. And, he had T-bars on his bike, or he had a 18 model lowrider, still has it.
Okay.
And it's pretty well set up, but like he just kind of like opened the door to like, this guy actually knows about what I want to know about, and that kind of started that pigeonhole.
And there's not a lot of people that actually ride Harleys and do stunts and stuff like that. Most of that's going to be your sport bike riders and stuff. So it is a different animal to ride a wheelie on.
I think another thing with that is like, just, I guess, like the demographic of where we're at.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's come around, but that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, it was like opening Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't find a Harley around here with moto bars on it.
Right, yeah. Now everybody wants T-bars and flat out bars and
like
stuff.
the club style look,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. So let's tell me, let's a little bit about your bike. What do you have? You said you just got it. It's only been ridden twice now?
It's very much so still in the shakedown period.
So what do you have? So let us know a little bit about, kind of what you need to start stunting a bike. Obviously, you can, pull some wheelies on some factory bikes and stuff, but what are some modifications that makes it a little bit easier, that you guys have done to your motorcycles to be able to do, 12 o'clock wheelies, and stoppies and rolling burnouts and stuff like that? I noticed some suspension and some other stuff on there.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of stuff, and really it depends on the model too. Like,
Okay.
his is a Roadster.
What year is that?
It's 2019.
2019 Harley-Davidson Roadster. So what, a 1200?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's some stuff that you've got done to that to help you be able to do wheelies and stuff?
Whenever I first got the bike, I was 17 at the time, and so Mom helped me out with the finance part of that because 17, no credit.
Big shout out to Mom.
Yeah, thanks to Mom. And so first got it, and it had like 7,000 miles on it, and it already had a saddleman.
Tell them about the good part.
I know, I'm getting there. You got to build up to it. You can't just jump straight into the best part. But it had a saddleman seat and a Bassani exhaust, and I was like, well, okay, that's a good start. It's two pretty expensive parts that, that's already on there. And
a red stitch saddleman seat.
Yeah, a red, like, custom stitch saddleman seat. And so then you get to the best part, and pulling it off the showroom floor, it had, like, massive meat hooks.
Probably 16 or 18.
Yeah, like 8.
Somebody, they did a real disservice to the Roadster.
And on a Roadster, it had some meat hooks on it?
Yes, and it was by far, like, I rode it like that for, like, a month and a half, probably.
How many times did your boys laugh at you over there? Or
I mean, it
poke
wasn't
at you a little bit.
Everybody was pretty stoked that I had a bike at 17. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, it was awesome. But like, you definitely, like, there's a lot I wanted to change just starting off.
Well, that's part of the fun about owning a motorcycle is customizing it to the way that you like.
And so I get it, and it's got these massive meat hooks. First thing that I gotta do, like, the day I get it, I go out and I just start wheeling it with
meat hooks on,
with 16-inch ape hangers or whatever.
Bars over your head.
Bars like behind your head, like as you're wheeling.
Poking your little head between the.
Yeah, it's like, I don't care. It's like, I got a bike and I'm out here wheeling now. It's like, whatever. And so about a month later, I done like drag specialties, 8.5-inch risers, and then, or 8.5 with an inch pullback, and then thrashing. They were thrashing or built well, like low bend bars, and then the T-Sport fairing, I did that later on. That's nothing you need. I just like the look of it. And I will say, like, I rode up here today, and it's
help block a little bit of the wind off.
It does help quite a bit with the wind.
I think you said you're going to put it back in the van on the way back.
Yeah, probably. I'll probably take the fairing off and put
was
it back
a little
in the van
chilly.
for the way back. It's a little cold, but Sportster, Roadster, whatever. I mean, they're the same chassis and stuff, but to get one up, like in a wheelie, I mean, he knows he's had 2 of them now. They're not hard.
Sportsters are easy.
Yeah, they're short, So like tire wise, you can have pretty much whatever tire you want on there, and it'll still hook up pretty decent.
Now, you're talking about the compound and stuff. I know I see some videos. These guys are running maybe, what, 10, 12 pounds? What kind of tire pressure are you guys running when you're out?
Honestly,
You guys airing down like the sport bike riders do?
I usually run like 20 to 25.
Okay.
So not crazy low, but still low.
Yeah.
Just depends. That like there's some tires that are like a lot of like the stunt shows and stuff are gonna take off.
Yeah.
Just because we don't have like.
Because you're burning them off and stuff. Yeah.
Like, so with that, I mean, some of them are harder. Some of them been sitting out in the sun for a while.
Yeah.
So
it was the best.
Yeah, like you get one that
they slide nice and easy,
like
huh?
Dawn dishwashing liquid on the ground.
Yeah.
It's like,
feels like you got a 120R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stock sport.
All kinds of horsepower.
Yeah, and so some of those are slick. Drop them down 5-10 pounds or so from 30, and then, but like tire choice, it's not as important on a Sportster. But then the stock shocks on that Roadster were they're like 13 and a halves.
Yeah.
So I haven't upgraded those yet.
Okay.
Just because I haven't honestly wanted to spend the money on it, but I mean it works.
A Roadster is about as good as you can get as far as like buy it and do the least to it.
Yeah.
Like
so it's almost out of the box, ready to get out and hoon on and stuff.
And I think they look cool. Which
yeah,
helps.
They do look pretty cool. I've seen some of them turned into dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Those look pretty cool.
Everybody wants the wheels, those paper clip wheels like that.
Yeah. And then I think you had a 100th anniversary.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about it? I noticed you had some Legend shocks on there and stuff.
Yeah.
It's got a gangster lean when you put it on the kickstand.
Got to.
Got to.
It's yeah, I got it late last year. I also had a Sportster, 99 model 1200S. Wrecked it pretty hard. Cracked the cases on it and all kinds of stuff last year.
Yeah.
The rebuild has been with this 03 lowrider, and it's been good. It's all still bone stock motor wise. Just been kind of working my way front to back on it. Did race, well, I guess all the stuff to make it safe. So good suspension, race tech internals on the front, the bagger Brembos, RCS 19 front brake master. It's an actual 7/8, like a real dirt bike bar setup with all like dirt bike throttle and I think it's an RSC lever shim to 1 inch, so a true like dirt bike style. Pretty short risers, and then the two big good front motor mount, keep from cracking the cases, and then the oil pan mod, just to make sure you're sucking oil while you're still in a wheelie.
Yep.
Legend shocks.
Seen you had an exhaust on there, nice 2-in-1.
Thunder header. For the culture.
Yeah.
I got to be chrome. This first bike I've ever had that's like stayed chrome.
And then how lifted are you on that one? How
it's all I don't know. It had a set. It was slammed like super short when I first got it. And it
wasn't no danger and no wheelies, huh? It was a rolling burnout
had a
machine.
mud flap on it.
Mud flap.
Yeah, it really did. It had a leather mud flap on it. That was choice. Might come back on one day.
So you guys do these stunts and stuff. How often do you get to practice?
As often as we can.
As often as you can.
And lots or streets or anywhere really.
Just about anywhere you're hooning around.
Yeah. Whether it's around the house for 30 minutes or
the practice
hours
lot.
at a time. Yeah.
So you obviously go through a lot of tires and stuff, burn through those.
Oh yeah.
What kind of maintenance do you have to do on these things? You're obviously thrashing these things.
Yeah.
How do you guys keeping the maintenance up on them so that they're reliable for you?
With this latest and greatest adventure of the dyna, I can't really tell you yet, but the Sportster was it wasn't too bad all things considered, but mine was rigid mount, being a 03 and older is all the rigid mount sporty years, and it was just a lot of your basic fluid changes and whatnot, a lot of chain. I had a chain kit on that one, so a lot of chain maintenance and bolt checks, like
make sure everything's tight.
So many exhaust nuts rattle off, and like lost seat screws and motor mount bolts rattle loose, just stuff of that. Especially in the older, the rigid mount Sportsters, and on just most Harleys. Anything other than like the brand new ones with M8s and all that, because they're pretty smooth.
Do you guys get to put on any shows?
Yeah, we do
at least 2 a year.
At least 2 a year.
Yeah.
Do 2, and then I'm going, like last year he went down to Daytona, Bike Week, whatever.
That's coming up here pretty soon at the end of this month, right?
Yeah. He went down there last year to compete.
The Performance Hangover Show.
Yeah. And then this year they switched it up and they're doing, it's like a drifter cross, like how
a race essentially.
Yeah, it's
On
pretty much,
motorcycles, we're drifting on motorcycles.
yeah.
Doing like stretch swing arms or anything like that, or just stock length bikes.
I'm going down this year, and I'm going all stock with, well, not all stock, but like just how it is right now, how it's set up. I know there's guys down there that are gonna be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they do for a living.
200 horsepower, stretched out.
Not even that as much as just the practice part of it. Like that's
It's like autocross.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks fun to
It's
do.
like a time
but
attack
it
race,
is.
I guess.
It is about. I mean, there's guys with sticky tires and fast motors that are gonna go.
Yeah. But I don't know those. I mean, there's countless. I'd say altogether probably around 20 guys.
That's not bad. That's
And
nice little crew.
Yeah. But there's a lot of killers down there. Like
Who's you got? Obviously there's a lot of killers down there. Do you guys idolize anybody in the stunt world? Who's your favorite stunt rider?
Honestly, like going back to what you said earlier, like how like getting into it and all that. Like I remember watching. I think we went to Tennessee. I think it was in Tennessee.
You're talking about the Rodney Sargent?
Yes.
Jesse Toler?
Yes, that was
Jesse Toler's a bad man.
That was like the first, like, not on Harleys, obviously. They
Right.
had sport bikes, but like that was like the first, I guess, real stunt show I had seen in person, and that's like,
Gotcha.
yeah, it stuck with me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, I think that's where I get it from. I look back and
Heard a 6
And
for
then-
6 one time.
yeah, well, the biggest thing, honestly, like we went and we seen Cole Freeman.
He was a good one too.
Yeah, well, Cole Freeman came, and I just remember watching him do his big jump, and then like
Yeah, he's
Jump
full
out
Evil
there.
Knievel, like
yeah,
jumping
like
by. and
out
stuff.
there, even like him on that road glide he's got, like
Yeah.
just sliding it around, drifting, doing wheelies, and I was like,
Just riding it like
at
it's a
that
dirt
time
bike.
it never really clicked that like these are Harleys, but it's like
It's a heavy machine.
this guy's
Yeah.
out here on a big, just
Yeah.
cruiser, as I knew back then. I mean, I was probably 8 years old, just
Yeah,
like
you hear rev limiter and tire smoke.
yeah, and it's like
it
you're-
translates
yeah,
pretty quick.
Yeah, you're hooked. It's and then I don't know, it's just all from there. Like I look back, that's probably been 10 years ago now, and I look back and it's like
Maybe not
now
long,
that-
but it's been
I
a
don't know.
while.
It's been a while, at least
like
8.
2018, 2017.
It's been a good minute.
Been a
but-
while. And then what about you, Blane? Who's someone that you idolize in the stunt riding world?
I guess, like he said, seeing those in person. I really like East Coasting and like they're like stock-ish looking bikes,
Yeah.
and they just ride the wheels off of them. Like
I will
they-
say I love the East
that
Coasting crew.
that style of riding is definitely amongst my favorite. I don't know, just the way they set their bikes up and all that. To me, that's like when you look at one of their, say, like an early model dyno.
Yeah.
And if you just had the silhouette of it, in a dark room, like, and I envision what I want a Harley to look like.
That's what it is.
That's
yeah.
that's the look for me.
That's what I'm faking. there.
Although I will say, unknown industries like the OGs of it.
The pig.
No, Nickley and Eddie, the
Mm,
gold FXR.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the bike that like when I seen that, I was like, I want an FXR.
Oh
And I
yeah.
couldn't have told you what it was at the time, but I was like, I
That's
need
it.
that.
That's the
Yeah.
one I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys got anything planned for 2025? Any goals or anything like that?
Just ride more.
Ride
do some
more.
shows, really.
Honestly, like one of my things is I wanted to go to like Daytona this year.
So you said you're going to go down there. You're going to do the drift competition and
Yeah.
stuff. All right.
Yeah.
So that's one of your goals. You're able to complete that.
Yeah, and then I want to do a few more shows at some different Harley dealers and stuff, wherever that be. If it's here at Man of War or
So how can we reach out to you guys, or how would anybody reach out to you guys to be able to book you? Speak up now. We want to be able to hear it.
I mean,
On my page, I've got like,
You got a link for that or anything?
yeah. Well, it's at Blane or Blaine's_world on Instagram.
Okay.
And then like the Davis Speed Shop, I guess, is the best
Yeah.
route for that. There's a page on Instagram, but there's also an email on my personal page for
Okay.
like booking or bike work. I mean, I dabble in working on bikes here and there and
Okay.
whatnot, and essentially all the things in that world.
Okay. So we'll get Rue to put that in the description somewhere. That way, if anybody wants to reach out, get you guys booked, they can do that.
No,
And then I understand you guys rode your bikes up today.
he rode, I trailered.
You trailered. He rode his up with like 7 layers on.
regardless, both are here.
Yeah. Regardless, both of the bikes here. I think you guys want to show us a couple things. Do maybe check us out. Let us check you out in the parking lot or something. See what you got going on.
Sure.
All right. Let's go check that out. All right, guys, that was a workout. You guys probably got to drink quite a bit of water and stay hydrated for that, right?
Yeah. Especially in the summertime.
Yes.
I was gonna say right now it's kind of cold. You just want to.
I mean, it's always important.
Yeah. You want like a big cup of hot chocolate or something mid wheelie, but the summertime definitely like. We do a show in May usually, and that one, you better have a cooler full of water and whatever else and.
Even just a regular, like if you're spending a couple hours with a lot, like before you realize that you can be like, got the old cotton mouth going and all that.
Yeah, man, we wasn't down there for 10 minutes or less, and I just had to walk up and down the hill, and I've got a little workout, breathing hard. I couldn't imagine you guys were pulling wheelies and doing burnouts and stuff. I'd be out of breath already.
But I'm just glad my tire held up. Ain't much there.
I think a big part of it is like, whenever you're just practicing around, you can kind of stop and do whatever, but
kind of at your own pace. But if you're putting on a big show, the pressure's on, man. You got to keep going.
During shows, it's like, you got arm pump. Oh well, kind of squeeze your arm a little bit.
Work through it.
Do the next wheelie.
Yeah.
Keep the energy up.
Yeah. So that was pretty fun. You guys. So a little distraction there. So you guys come all the way up from London, did a nice little show for us. It's been great having you on the podcast and stuff. Is there anything you guys would like to say to close it out, to anybody looking to get into the stunt riding or anything like that? You got some words of wisdom or some advice or anything? What would you have to say? We'll do one from each of you. What would you have to say, Kobe?
You go.
You go Blane first. We put him on the spot.
First. You older, more wise and knowing.
Takes time, like real time.
Yeah.
And like I was talking about being 16, 17, 18 on the CR250, just wheelie after wheelie after wheelie after wheelie after wheelie, and like most of which weren't good. It's a lot of, and just drilling that muscle memory, because it's all just all muscle memory to a certain extent.
You got to tune yourself into the bike
and learning the foot brake. Just really
always cover the brake.
Yeah, really studying like the fundamentals of it. And also just being, like, comfortable on a bike. Like, obviously we stunt ride, do this, that, and the other, but, like, I love going on trips, love hitting back roads, all the usual motorcycling festivities.
You just might do a wheelie or a burnout between here and there.
Yeah. Keep it interesting.
Yeah.
Just being comfortable on a bike and just, like, it's something you really got to work at. It's not always like it's fun to go out and bust a few wheelies, but learning how to do wheelies and just good bike control is hard at times. And building the bikes to hold up to it can be a royal pain, but very expensive.
I think that was my thing was whenever you first got the old 883 you had.
The first ever Harley wheelies.
Yeah, that was the first. Like, I was still on dirt bikes. I don't remember what age exactly, but I was still on dirt bikes.
It's 2020.
Yeah. During the COVID and all that. So it was, everybody stuck at home and whatever, and then we'd go out and old back roads by the house and whatever, and he'd be out on the Harley doing wheelies for, just literally hours on end, just up and down the road, back and forth. And I would be, this is whenever I was in 8th grade, I guess, in middle school or something. And so I would be on a TTR 230 or something, just trying to,
Trying.
Yeah, like, I could do it, but it's like, it's not the same whenever somebody's up there, it's like, dang.
Check that
big
out.
Harley or something up in the air. It's like, whoa. But I think a piece of advice or whatever is I know it's hard to say, but don't get like frustrated because
he did.
Well, I have a lot. I mean, I was back there a few minutes ago. Just
I do.
You get worked up, get excited.
Yeah,
the pressure's on. And
it's a lot.
You feel the need to perform, and the next thing you know, you're hating on yourself because you got a lot going on, and it's just
got to think long game.
Got to relax a little bit.
It's like, I don't know. I think my thing is always I'm just trying to like straight jump into it, like do all the big tricks and stuff that I know I can do and I have done previously.
When you haven't warmed up or anything.
Yeah, and it's like, I just like,
That's it. I mean, it's just, and especially today's world, online, it's like everything's a highlight reel.
Yeah.
I've clutched up way more wheelies that I've rode for a couple seconds and then had to sit back down.
Yeah.
I have rode for miles, jumped to the seat, knee knock, all this, that, and the other. Like, those are far and few in between. But when you get one, you feel great. There's literally nothing.
It better
like
be on camera.
It better be on camera. Did you get that time on camera? What was your mom saying? Something about a curb?
Oh yeah, it's on camera.
Is that on camera?
It's on my Instagram page. Yeah.
On the Instagram, we'll have to get mom to send that over to the room. We'll insert that.
Probably the sickest wheelie he's ever done.
No,
could have been.
It was.
But
deep.
the curb was there or something, right? You want to walk us through what happened?
So, I had just pulled up to the local lot, and everybody's out there. We're all just kind of playing around, and
I wasn't there.
Well, yeah, you were. Yeah, and this was actually you had got there like not even 15 minutes after.
I missed out on this.
And so most of everybody was there. And I get there, and I think I just got like my bars and risers and stuff through on after the. Because if it would have been with the meat hooks, I would have died. Like
meat hooks.
Yeah, like I mean big ones.
It had been hooked.
Yeah. And so I get there, I'm playing around doing a few wheelies, and then I was like, well, and that fender on that Roadster is like cut deep.
Yeah,
it's
that's factory, but it's just
but
there's this much fender behind the seat.
Yeah, there's the wheel sticks out a good 2 to 3 inches past the fender.
That's good for those 12 o'clock movements.
Well, it's more like 2:30.
Yeah, that's before it starts scraping.
Yeah, and I found that out. So I was like, talking to my buddy Dylan and his friend Dylan. I was like, I'm gonna scrape it. I was like, no doubt, this is it. I'm doing it right here. I was like, I've got so close. I'm doing it. I hadn't had the bike for probably a month at this point. And so I go, I think I hit it practice run like one time. Next run, I'm like, okay, this is it.
You got it.
No matter what, dropping it back, slamming the back brakes. I was like, this is it. So I go to hit it, and I scraped the back fender. Like, it was solid. Solid wheelie. I drop it back.
Probably too much, to be honest.
I was, no joke, very close to the seat screw.
You was digging, not scraping.
Like a shovel just plowing the blacktop up there. But so I'm going, and I back brake, stomp it. It comes back down fine. About 2 to 3 feet in front of me.
You was hype. You didn't even see it.
No, yeah. I was just like, wide-eyed.
Where'd that come from?
Holy crap. I just scraped my fender. Like, I've been trying to do this for like a week, and it just happened. Like, I didn't even really mean to, but I did it. And so I do it, put it down, and then I kind of stand up for a minute. I'm looking over. I'm like, oh. at the curb, and you know, worst comes to worst, front tire it smacks the curb of the parking lot there, and I got the video of it, and I'll send it over or something, but I like flipped, and this is before I didn't have crash bar or nothing on it yet, and so that's where the dent in the tank came from that you saw earlier, and so I flipped over and done like the like quote unquote most perfect barrel roll you have ever seen. Just
He was a
into
little,
yeah,
he was extra dramatic with
yeah,
it. Just rolled on
yeah,
out.
just like perfect barrel roll over into the grass beside the parking lot, and put the dent in the tank, and then kind of tweak the risers and stuff. But overall, nothing crazy.
Still out there rocking the wheelies on it now.
Yeah.
Now that sounds like a pretty memorable moment. So we're going to wrap it up. Blane, you want to tell us about one of your most memorable moments, and then we'll wrap it up and get on out of here so you guys can get back down to London.
The front flip.
Yeah. If we're talking crashes and about 10 foot.
Well, just, anything. Your most memorable ride or anything.
Yeah.
But a front flip sounds pretty interesting. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll wrap it up.
Also, good video of this. Probably 20 feet on up in said parking lot.
The same parking lot.
It's about like here. It's got like that dark black sealer over it.
Oh, yeah, so it's nice and slick.
The Sportster that I got, or had, I should say, the fender wasn't that deep. We'll say it was a nice 1231 cut or so. It was a full fender bike that I had cut and chopped. Had my little tie block on the back there.
Had it look nice.
I think I was really just going for like a regular old scrape, and like it wasn't anything crazy, but the deal with like titanium sliding on that slick sealer is it's pretty easy. Like most of the time, if you're on like a rough, like regular old asphalt, like on your most roads,
right,
you'll go to scrape, and if you got a titanium block on there that's set in somewhere in that range, like the 12 to 1 o'clock range, you'll like the bike slows down. You drop back, hit it, and you feel it like dig.
Yeah.
There, it just kind of like skids. Yeah, it's real
like,
slick, real smooth.
Like a hockey puck on ice, huh?
So I was moving pretty good. First gear wheelie, just drop back, go to scrape, and then so what happens, it sits on the tie block, goes to slide forward a little bit, and the rear wheel will come off the ground ever so slightly while you're still on the rear brake. Rear wheel comes off the ground while you're on the brake, locks the rear wheel up, the rear wheel hits the ground again when the bike starts to go back down, and ensues what they call the mousetrap.
Mousetrap. Whack!
Bike slams down. As the bike slams down, it kind of like, hooks you over the front, and so I do quite literally just about a perfect front flip over the bars, but didn't quite
stick the landing.
Did not stick the landing. Just bounced my head off the blacktop for the most part. And the bike kind of tumbled next to me, but that was a pretty good one.
Well,
one of my better Harley wrecks.
One of your better Harley wrecks. So, well, it's been good having you guys up. We're glad you guys are still sticking around, to perform for us and stuff. Again, guys, this is Blane and Kobe Davis out of London, Kentucky. A couple stunt riders on some Harleys. Thanks for coming up, guys. It's been great having you in.
No problem. We appreciate being on the podcast.